What do you make of this? Diane Abbott says she will not be intimidated. There was a big rally supporting her in her Hackney constituency. She is back as a Labour Party member, Labour MP, but she's basically been told, she claims she's been told she's not going to be allowed to stand. The NEC, the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party, officially chooses and sort of rubber stamps candidates next Tuesday. They don't want her to stand. They want her to go away quietly. But she ain't going quietly. But it does look like she doesn't want to run as an independent, as her big ally and former lover, Jeremy Corbyn, is in a nearby constituency. But do you think this purge of the left, does it help Keir Starmer as in a big signal to voters, I don't want any of these people anywhere near me? Or does it hurt him by making him appear ruthless, by him dividing his party?
Well, I hope he's planned this carefully, because I think it probably helps him when he's targeting red wall voters. Because people will say, right, the old Corbyn who we didn't want to vote for has gone. However, what he's doing is all of those supporters are still a large proportion of the Labour Party. And therefore what he's doing is he's building up a lot of animosity within his own party. And that animosity is reflected out into a lot of the unions and everything else. I think he's going to get a very, very hard time should he get elected next month.
Well, and again, there's also going to be issues with the unions. We know a number of union leaders backed in a letter supporting Diane Abbott being allowed to stand. She does hold traction as the first black woman MP. I just don't know how many decades you can trade on that.
Well, exactly, and I'll put my cards on the table. I'm not a Diane Abbott fan in any way, shape, or form, but. And the comments that she came out with were absolutely appalling, and she deserved to have the whip removed from her.
Basically, again, she had the whip removed because she said that Jews, travellers and gypsies and others, they didn't suffer racism the way black people did. They suffered prejudice the same way a redhead did. Blatantly, not just an anti-Semitic remark, probably.
Blatantly racist.
But fundamentally a stupid remark.
Oh, very much so.
And I don't think stupid is something we should encourage in MPs.
She included Irish in that, and I'm Irish, and I have suffered racist attacks for being Irish.
Is it racist though?
Well, they were picking on me for.
But don't people pick on people because they're from Liverpool or from Birmingham? I'm from Birmingham. I don't
they do, but I think there's a difference between, and that would come under hate or minority or whatever. But there's a difference between people picking on you for fun and you're having a laugh and everything else, or people doing it from a nasty perspective, really wanting to not just bring you down, but bring the whole element of society that you have come from down.
Well, it used to be those awful signs, didn't there? Sort of no blacks, no Irish, no dogs, and that sort of the idea that you'd put two people in with.
And Diane Abbott seemed to confuse racism with skin colour, and it's not. And that's where I think she got it badly and her judgment badly wrong. And she's getting her judgment. She's what, in her 70s now, so she's getting her judgment more and more wrong.
Well, you can be in your 80s and run for the American presidency, so apparently not an issue there. Just briefly want to touch on Angela Rayner. We found out yesterday that she has basically but again, lots of people are saying she's been cleared by Greater Manchester Police. Greater Manchester Police said they're not continuing the investigation.
Yes.
That's not saying she's good. No. I've been very clear. It's very obvious to me that she lived in the house that she claims she didn't live in.
Yes.
I'm sorry, the evidence is absolutely clear. The point is there a police investigation that you can have, that you can go anywhere with, if it happened so many years before 2010, for goodness sake? I mean, we're looking at a time when it's way beyond the statute of limitations. We've also been told now about the Guardian, who said he's seen a document that she's been cleared by HMRC, Her Majesty Revenue and Customs, over claims she failed to pay capital gains tax on the sale of her former council home that she bought under right to buy, because basically if it was a second home, not her primary residence, therefore she would be due to pay capital gains in it, just a £1.50 or something like that. However, but again, has she been cleared, or have they've said that she has no tax to pay? But that will be because it's beyond the 6-year. Normally, you can't go back into someone's taxes unless it's a major fraud, and no one's accusing her of fraud.
And again, the clearance will be: is it in the public interest to pursue this? And when it's coming up to an election, it's not.
It's not. Yeah, but it's not the same thing as she's being cleared.
But again, given her position on the left of the Labour Party as well, she was a Corbynista, and as the deputy leader of the Labour Party, there's a morality clause that comes into this. She's been caught out exploiting completely within the rules, by the investigations and the results of those that we've got at the moment, but exploiting and profiteering from a Maggie Thatcher policy.
Which she now doesn't think. I mean, again, I don't approve of right to buy. I think if you've got enough money to buy a property, I think you should go into the private market.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, the discounts are astonishing. They're outrageous, and of course, that money is barred by law from being spent on building new council properties. I find that absolutely insane. I'm totally if you don't need a council property anymore, you should be in a council property. I think it's immoral.
Go and buy one.
Absolutely immoral. I know people who are the single parents on their own, really desperate, and they had council housing, still in it 50 years later.
Yeah.
And you just think, well, I'm sorry, but do you not think that should be given to another single parent family who desperately need it right now?